Hey everybody, I just wanted to do a quick review on the Roku 3, which came in the mail today. I'm pretty much a Roku newbie. I've heard a lot of good things about it, but I've never really tried it or played with it. I know I bought a TV and I didn't want to pay $50-$60 a month for the channels. And a friend of mine said, just get a Roku. There are a bunch of channels in there that would be worth your while and that they couldn't live without it. So I figured once the 3 came out, I'd give it a try. It's pretty small, just for scale. Here's a AA battery. So there you have it. It's no wider than an AA battery, pretty much. The Roku itself is pretty basic. It doesn't come with a power button. It just has a adapter, Ethernet cable, HDMI only cable, and that's pretty much it. On the side there is a USB port if you wanted to play your videos. I was hoping for something simple, so one of the main selling points, they said this is pretty easy to set up, so I wanted to see if this is the case. So, like I said, I'm just going to plug in the supplied power adapter, and I have an Ethernet RJ45 cable, which I don't want to run the wireless. I think a direct connection would be the way to go. So when you order this, you also have to order the HDMI cable, which does not come included. And then I think at Amazon you can get an HDMI cable for $6. They're pretty cheap. And again, you don't need to order a fancy HDMI cable. Digital is digital. It's not like the old analog days. So as you can see, everything is plugged in and turning it on. That was pretty easy. And here actually the channels are already set, but once you actually turn it on, it's going to ask you for an internet connection, because you're going to need to go to your computer and activate the Roku. So you go online to roku.com/activate. Then they ask you for your email. You put in your email, and it gives you probably a 6-digit alphanumeric character that you enter on your Roku with the remote control. And the remote control, I thought the remote control was easy to use. The entering characters onto the screen was pretty straightforward. Was responsive. There wasn't a lag, which you can sometimes have. That can be very annoying. So it was easy to type in characters. Once you type in the password, you get, I think, the basic channels. So at that point, you go to the channel store and start adding the channels that you want. What I did find that was disappointing was, I was hoping that they would have more channels that are like TV, where you can flip, and that turned out not to be the case. Fox News, for instance, you're basically like watching news clips from CNN or something similar along those lines, about 3-minute clips. Hulu is straightforward. I mean, if you've used Hulu on your computer, it's the same as the Hulu here. The only thing I like about it is the search functionality, which, again, like I said, entering things is easy. So I wanted to watch, let's try, I don't know, Firefly. Sorry, F-I... Firefly, there you go, 2002. So it's on Amazon, Netflix, Vudu, and I do. So with Netflix, you know, if you have an account, you enter your account information. Hulu Plus, same thing, you enter your username and password. And with Amazon, that's pretty much the same. Let's see.
Presented by the car.
So I mean, that was pretty easy to use. So these are the channels that you have. You can go to the channel store and purchase more channels. Most of them are free. I haven't gone through all of them yet, but the basic gist is it's very easy to use. Now I actually wanted to try to set up a way to stream files from my computer onto the Roku, and that's a bit more complicated. I mean, you have to add the streaming channel and set up a server on your computer, which was more of a pain than I wanted it to be. So once you take take a USB stick and attach it to your Roku, and again, you actually have to go online to the Roku site and add a new channel. It doesn't automatically come up. You have to go Roku USB media player, and once you add that channel, then it lets you browse your USB for movies, and that's pretty easy to use. You can just play. It does videos, music, and photos. So I think that's a bit easier than just doing it straight from your computer. It's at least for me, because I don't want to mess with starting a local web server and streaming it. And that pretty much is my Roku 3 review. I haven't used it enough to give it a rating, but I think in terms of easiness and quick setup, I give it a 9 out of 10. The reason why I give it a 9 is I would think that streaming just from a directory from your computer, since it's on the network, would be much easier than it is, but it isn't, which is a bit annoying. So again, I used the USB port, which was fairly simple. Adding channels was pretty easy. So I think it's pretty much easier to add channels through the Roku interface than going online. And I'm looking at the channels right now, and it's kind of comprehensive. I think I find Vimeo channel very useful. You can add your own Vimeo feeds and Flickr to the channels, which I think is very cool. There are fitness channels for kids. There are also a lot of channels that are for video games, and I'm assuming you use the remote control to play the video games. I didn't buy the system for video games, so I'm not going to go into that. But there seem to be a lot of channels that are quite useful. Like, let's see, NBA. It's free. Let's see what's most popular. Okay. So once you go to your channels and add or remove them, you can view them on your list of channels. So I just added Vimeo to it. Let's see how Vimeo works. So I just added a Vimeo channel, and I'm going in there, and I wanted to link my Vimeo account. I mean, it's essentially a browser on your TV. And so a lot of these channels, I noticed you don't enter your credentials on the channel itself. I mean, on the box itself. Many of them ask you to log on to your account using your PC and then entering, this code here or something like that. And that's how the channels get added onto your Roku box. So I guess there's a lot of support for the Roku on a lot of these sites. And again, it's pretty easy. It's like 5 digits. It's not a long alphanumeric thing, and it should take 10 seconds to add. That's my Roku review. I hope you guys enjoyed it.